Hello and welcome back. Guess what? Today I have another voltage reference or voltage standard, and it is the AD585. And I think it is the enhanced version of the AD584 that has 4 voltages, 2.5, 5, 7.5, and 10. And it is based on the IC, the AD584. And so I thought, oh, the 585, that's a newer version. And it is nice. The nice thing about this one is that it has 5 voltages. And it also has the 1.24. And why is that nice? Because there are multimeters that are 220,000 counts, or well, this one is 2.2. And because it's 2.2 million, if your lowest value that you can have is 2.5, that means you already lose that first digits. And having 1.24, that is great, because then you can test also on the full digits. This one is 300,000, so it didn't have the problem. This is only 5.5, well, only it's 5.5. But usually the multimeters will have like 22, 220, 240, but 300,000 I haven't seen too much yet. And then of course you have the Brahmans or the Flukas that maybe have higher values, but it's also higher values in money. So that's nice if you can test the full digits with 1.24. The only thing is I haven't found the IC yet, so we put it later under the microscope. First we're going to play with it. I do see a little USB up converter. Well, we play with it. But the nice thing is, whatever the device is, it has its little calibration sheet. And you can even download it. They even put a web address with your serial number. So even if you lose it, you can download it again. So I really think that that they do a good job. And they even say it is compared to a Fluke 8845A on 31 degrees Celsius. That is a lot. And they put a date. I'm not sure that was the calibration date of this Fluke, or it was just when they did this measurement. But it is a nice idea. You're not. I like it as a reference, to be honest. So let's play with it, how this works. Okay, here we have it. Let me zoom in a little bit. Here we have the calibration sheet on at least how it was referenced. And well, if you can see, here is a little USB up converter, because the device needs 15 volt. Then it's going through a few caps, and then it's regulated back to the 8712, so back to 12 volts. And yeah, then I see a few transistors, it looks like, and I don't see an IC, so we will put it later under the microscope. But how it works is like this. Let me zoom in a little bit more. How this works is that this is the output. The middle pin doesn't do anything. So you have your out, your ground, and then with the jumper, it is just connected to the output pins. So I will put later, we'll put this in a nice plastic box and just connect directly on these 5 pins, the bananas, with the ground. And then I have my 4 voltages, because you could lose a little bit, although it's all high impedance, so I don't think you will lose too much. But just feels better, and it's nicer to have the bananas and have it in a nice box. So well, let's see what it does on my Cyclant. Okay, well, the Cyclant is switched on for more than an hour because I was playing with someone else, something else. And I still have here my LBO2, which surprisingly, and I told this many times before, because my older AD AD584 broke, and I couldn't find another one with this reference sheet, and but I did find one again. So then because I blew it up, my old one, I start using my LBO2 again, LBO2A by the way, because that's a little better quality. And it's not bad at all. Yeah, I've here 10 volts and it says really 10.00045. So, and even my Keithley also agrees. So, but there was just something else. I will switch that off. So it's all switched on more than an hour. Let me get something with crocodiles. Okay, well, as I said, it has a little USB up converter. It is not a USB-C, but this, I don't know, USB mini. It's with this unsymmetrical, and it is very easy to break, but okay, that's what we have. First time you switch it on, you could have a little problem that your USB, just because it needs to load these two big caps. First time I had here, this one switched off, but immediately after a second it switched back on. So that was the current limit, I think. Now it's good. There it was. Caps are filled. It is good. So let's just put it on the first value. Let me connect it to my, now let me first put it on 2.5 volt, what you also would have with your old AD584. And then you can see what I mean with that extra digit. Not sure if I can zoom in a bit more. Let me try. Okay. I have it in DC voltage, auto ranging. Let me get the ground pin, and this is a bit tricky, that's why I want to build it in a box. I am now connecting it, and it should be like 2.5 volts. As you can see, it's pretty close, and they say it should have been 2.497, that's correct, 61. So it's a little bit off, but it could also be their meter. But as you can see, this is 6.5 digits, and I have here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So the half digit is already gone, and that's because this is 2.2 million. And now it's nice because, well, I can do the same with the 5 volts, and I will still have my full digits, and this is also correct. I should have 499,567. So 7.5 is here 748897. I think their measurements are not good because I checked my the cyclant was good, and this is even 998285. So they were a little bit high. But what I mean with the extra digit, if I now go back to the 1.24, now you can see what I mean, because now we have this lower value, we can really use that half digit, and now we have a lot more. So that's kind of cool. And because this one is 300,000 digits, it has one digit less, but this one would work on this 2.5 because, I don't know, can you see it? Oh, I need to go up a bit. Like this. So this one is 300,000 counts. So this one would say the same, 1.23763. This one seems a little bit closer. But if I go to 2.5, it is still good. I still have all my digits, and that's because it has more counts. Well, this is 300 and this is 2.2, but you get my drift, I think. And now when I go to 5, I will lose the digits here. But that's why, because a lot of the multimeters have a 220 or a 240, and then the 2.5 volts just makes you lose it. That's why I like this device. Let's get the microscope and have a closer look on this one. So what is this 585 chip? Because if we look at the AD584, we really have here the AD584, and this is then the cheaper version because this is the JH, and then you have the KH, and you have now also the improved LH. So let's see what we have here. Well, this is still part of, let me get it here. This is the the USB converter that converts it to, well, like 15 volts to convert it back later. The microscope is amplifying a little bit too much, so you don't have the full view, but I'm trying to find now the IC. Here is the regulator to make 12 volts. Here we have some resistors. And here we have like 5 transistors, or not sure what it is. But I don't see any IC. Where is this AD585? Or do they just make you think it is an IC? So let's have a look like this. Here I also don't see an IC where it should be soldered, because here I only see pins. And here we have these 5 transistors. I don't see it here. I don't see it underneath also. So then what are these 5 transistors looking like things? First I thought it is for a buffer, but let's look again in a microscope. Well, this is the regulator. Very clearly, low power 12 volt regulator. And then what we have here, let me zoom in again. This is an AZ922JA. I have no clue what it is. And the one behind it, what is this? This is also a 922. Then the one behind there, what is that? Also 92. So what are these? Also 92. And this one is a 90. Could this just be Zener diodes that I just stack with 2.5, 2.5? It could be, because I don't see too many ICs. I just see one resistor here that goes to it, and then it's 2.5, 2.5, 2.5, and one is then 1.24. So this 920 and this 922 could be exactly that difference. Let me see if we can find it on the internet what it is, because I somehow get the feeling these are just Zener diodes, and we are not talking about this analog devices 585, because I haven't seen that IC anywhere. Well, I'm checking now, and it's indeed not from Analog Devices. It is this 585. It's just made up to make it look good because of the 584, I think. So that is smart to call your device, give your device a type number like that. It seems to be a precision shunt regulator, and the lowest value that it can do is 2.5 volts. So I think if they put it to the lowest value, they can do 2.5, 5, 7.5, and 10, and just stack them. Because I don't see much adjusting what they do. So if they adjust them just to the lowest value, it should exactly be 2.5 volts as it says here. And it is 0.4% more or less that it can do, if I understand correctly. I tried to put a link also of this PDF if you think that's interesting. And well, in the end it seems to work, and as long as they put this this reference sheet with it, You can compare it. So yeah, I'm both a little bit disappointed, but in the end it also doesn't matter because I tried. Oh, I will show you. I changed a little bit the value of the step-up converter, and still the value was very stable that came out. But that's probably because of this LM 7812, that it, as long as it keeps that 12 volt, that it will be stable. And it's actually kind of smart what I did, because this precision shunt regulators, they do the job in the end. And I like you with a very stable 1.24. So, but let me show you that I vary a little bit the voltage of the step-up converter. Okay, I have the Keithley here on the step-up converter, and I will try to put this on the output, but I am struggling a little bit with the clips because it's all quite big. I really like to put this in a nice box, but here you see the output, it's super stable. Here you see my step-up converter, even though with all the caps that are on the output it still looks very messy. But if I change a little bit the output value, you see it's a little bit lower. Oh, I need to stay within a certain margin. It doesn't change too much here, but it does. And I'm surprised about that because this is also regulated with this LM7812. So in that sense, I'm disappointed. Because it should not matter. As long as I'm above 12. No, it's okay. It comes back later. More or less. Yeah, I'm a little bit disappointed it is not a real AD585 if it even exists. I was expecting a brand new chip from analog devices like the 584. This is called the AD585. But it's kind of smart what I did with these precision shunt regulators, because the lowest is just 2 to 2.5 volts. Then you reference that one to the next one, and then it becomes 5, and you reference to the next one, you reference to the next one. I'm not sure how they did the first one with the 1.24. I see a little bit a different value then. The name is a fractional different that I haven't found the datasheet, but I just look 5 minutes. But we know now, okay, it's not a super fancy IC, it is just this precision reference transistor slash diodes, and it does work. I'm only surprised with I just show you that if I change the value on the step-up converter, that it even matters, because it should be regulated to 12 volt, or that regulator is just a little bit slow. And in the end it just comes back again, or it's just that these yeah, it's all referenced to each other, so maybe that's why it needs to stabilize after you adjust it, but it seems to come back to its original value. Yeah, and why the value is not the same as on my Sigland, or it's a little bit more closer to what the Keithley is saying. Yeah, it is not 31 degrees here, so maybe that matters. I think it does. And it's nice to try. I like that it is a lower value than the 2.5, but I'm not necessarily very impressed. But again, I like it is the 1.24 volts. Okay, that was the device called AD585. Next time I will have a LM399, also precision voltage standard or reference. And we're going to play with that. It also has different settings. You need to set that with jumpers. I have a list here, and it should do 2.5 volts, 4 volts, 5 volts, 6 volts, 7.5 and 10. And yeah, that was nice of the AD585 that it had also something below the 2.5. This one doesn't have it. It needs 15 volts. I use here 12. So I will use this little step-up converter, but that is for next time. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you next time.